Getting closer to June 18th, and time is running out for you to register to join us for our historic symposium live on C-SPAN, Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com right now if you want to be in the audience when the nation will see for the first time ever a stage full of brilliant black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's all going down. Well, it's actually all going up. Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. live from the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Again, admission is free, but we're filling up fast. So if I were you, I would log on right now to KBLA1580.com to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
So many of you have said to me, or said to us, and said to the comments, what the heck is the difference between a healthy versus a narcissistic relationship? I've been in an unhealthy one for so long, I don't know the difference. So in these little series, we're going to take on all kinds of issues. And in this one, we're going to have this sort of side-by-side descriptions of healthy relationships versus narcissistic ones. Like I said, so many people have reached out and wrote in and tell me, you know what? I'm beginning to realize that half of my problem is that I don't even know what a healthy relationship looks like. So like I said, in this little series, we will take on some issues that come up in...
I'm sorry. Don't you know that getting exactly what you want and what you prayed for isn't necessarily healthy? Go ahead. Finish it.
Between how these themes and these dynamics may play out in a healthy versus an unhealthy relationship. So let's begin with a dynamic that's probably never healthy, but let's break it down, which is insults. This is an easy one to begin with. Most of you are like, yeah, insults don't seem like a healthy part of a relationship, because by and large, healthy relationships do not involve insults per se. Insults can be anything from a diminishment of someone's abilities, telling someone, yeah, you're a lousy cook, you're a terrible provider, you're the worst present wrapper I've ever seen, whatever an insult would be. You might insult someone as a person. You're the worst. I can't believe I have to be seen with you. I can do better than you. Insults could be about a person's appearance, a person's preferences. The list goes on and on. I'm not talking, an insult here is what I'm not talking about good-natured ribbing, like fun jabs at silly foibles ranging from, I don't know, bathroom habits like passing gas to putting strange condiments on food. We know the difference. An insult has edge, it has a sneer, it has contempt. An insult is intended to harm. An insult, here I'm talking about devaluation, dehumanization, making someone feel less than. It doesn't feel funny. You don't want to laugh. It leaves you feeling angry, hurt, not enough, and unsafe. That's insult. And insults, frankly, are the love language of the narcissistic relationship. It's about the narcissistic need to dominate, coupled with the contempt that narcissistic people feel for the people that they need. So by insulting them, It limits any kind of intimacy and any kind of vulnerability, and it also allows the narcissistic person to maintain control, power, and dominance. Now, in a healthy relationship, insults aren't a thing. Good-natured ribbing, for sure. But those little good-natured, playful jabs, those work because a healthy relationship is a safe place. I will say the people closest to me joke about how I think ginger ale and a soak in the bathtub are apparently the cure for everything, and that a grown woman of 55 years of age should not be carrying a backpack and calling it a purse. And I joke with the people who are very close and dear to me how they need to stop watching Lifetime movies and considering a Lifetime movie to be a documentary. And those of you I'm talking about in my life, you know who you are. And we talk about it and we know it makes us smile and laugh and we don't feel hurt. Many times people in narcissistic relationships who face down contemptuous, bleak insults. And that can be coupled with other abusive language like name calling or lots of abusive use of obscenities. Those folks will try to soft pedal and say, oh, now we only hurt the ones we love. No, we don't. Or people caught in these relationships will say, that's just us being comfortable. In a relationship, you should be able to say anything. Not so sure about that. Over a lifetime of hearing insults, when that happens, it sort of seeps into our emotional DNA and it transforms us. We become more accustomed to hearing them. We may even...
Man. Dr. Romani, she don't be playing. But I'll be the first to say we're all guilty of some of the examples that she laid out. The reason why people are getting tired of the word narcissist is because social media has grabbed it. NPD is in the DSM-5. Okay? Not everybody is clinically diagnosable as someone having NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. So please understand that. Once YouTube and Twitter and well, it's not Twitter, X, IG. Once all of that gets a hold of an idea, they're going to drain it of its significance, of its relevance, right? Everyone has narcissistic tendencies. In order to be diagnosed as NPD, someone who suffers from NPD, there's certain criteria. There's a list of things or behaviors, and you got to have like 5 or 6 of them for a sustained amount of time. They go, oh, okay, there you go. That's you. So not everybody is narcissistic, okay? But everybody has narcissistic tendencies. And again, if you live in a contaminated society where acquisition, tell me it's not narcissistic to think, I've acquired a better relationship than I had with you. Tell me that's not a narcissistic thought. Right? And if you're happy, we would know about the new relationship. Are y'all hearing what if you're truly happy and content, right? It's not something that needs to be promoted. But many people promote from this space because they want it to be known. They want to compare. They want to compete. They want to be petty. But that's who we are. Krishnamurti. Without knowing yourself, without knowing your own way of thinking and why you think certain things, without knowing the background of your conditioning and why you have certain beliefs about art and religion, about your country and your neighbor, and about yourself, how can you think truly about anything? Without knowing your background, without knowing the substance of your thought and whence it comes from, Surely your search is utterly futile. Your action has no meaning, has it? See, this is how you know you're dealing with a petty person. Because everything that's wrong is attributed to someone else. That's why they're petty. You know why they're petty? Because they're not content with the enigma of self. See, who am I turns into what I have. It comes from what I've accomplished, what I've done. My relationship with this new person is better than my relationship with you. Do you see? That is a form of pettiness, right? Let's get even deeper. Shawnee, yes, I don't really think I love Shaq. After all those kids and all those millions and everything. Okay, fine. We don't need to know that. But I guess, we got to sell books. Okay, cool. David R. Hawkins puts it this way. Life is too short to start your day with the broken pieces of yesterday. It will definitely destroy your wonderful today and ruin your great tomorrow. Do you understand? Maybe you don't. We're talking about being petty, right? Dr. David R. Hawkins says it another way. I stopped explaining myself when I realized people only understand from their level of perception. They're only going to hear you from where they are. That doesn't mean they're lower than you. They're just in a different galaxy than you. And if you're speaking a different spiritual consciousness, galactical language, they're not going to understand. Listen, Dr. Hawkins, do it again. When you learn to accept instead of expect, you will have fewer disappointments. See, I don't know who we talking to. But the real work requires you to let go of the you started with. That's the real work. You petty because you came from petty. I know. Nobody really wants to hear this. I know nobody wants to hear it get broken down like this. Okay, Nazarene X, get back in here with your final thought.
Love. All right, I'm going to just stir it up. Again, I say this with all humility, reverence, respect, and love. I really love the story in Scripture when it's the thing with Christ in the wilderness, he about to get taken, everybody sleep. Mm-hmm. Then people come through.
Garden of Gethsemane.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, Gethsemane. So one thing is that African proverb that say, ears that don't listen to advice accompany the head when it's cut off. So check. Mm-hmm. Christ let the dude ear get chopped off and put it back. Mm-hmm. Victory for me, knowing when you are just resting in the position of victory ultimately, I look at that and say, like, yo, God be petty for real. Like, it's kind of funny to me. Like, for real. But, like, just Jesus what?
Jesus
That's all I can say. Brave emotion, anchored in love. That's that. Love,
hey, nephew, man, I appreciate you. Guess what you just did?
Slama Lama Ding Dong, ATL, appreciate you, man.
ATL in the building. Y'all get at me. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going back to the phone. Oh, I got time? Oh, man. Let's stay with Krishnamurti. Listen to me. Do you understand that pettiness is an extension of fear? Fear and ego. Pettiness is an extension of fear and ego. So let's go into it. Krishnamurti puts it this way. Thought tries to sustain pleasure and thereby nurtures fear. Thought tries to sustain pleasure and thereby nurtures fear. Pettiness is an extension of fear and ego. Listen, if you're really kind and loving and empathetic and caring, right? Even when things are over, there is still a sense of kindness and lovingness and care, right? Why? Because kindness is an extension of God. Kindness is mercy. In the Quran, El-Rahimu, El-Rahmanu, the same word, just pronounced different. Rahama, the merciful, the beneficent. When humans are kind, we are tapping into the mercy of God. When your worst relationship grew you up the most, even if it didn't work, the kindness in you, the mercy in you still has reverence for the human being that taught you the most about you. I know. Do you understand? This is why we're a petty society. Does this make sense? Are y'all resonating with what I'm trying to say to you? I'm listening to folk on the internet. I'm looking at all the relationship folks out there. Nobody really knows. And I'll give Iyanla Vanzant hers, right? I'll give Iyanla Vanzant hers. Much respect to Iyanla. I resonate with her words, right? But a lot of people just don't understand the spiritual nature of relationships. It's not about getting what you want. It's about unraveling yourself, right? It's about untangling yourself from how you evaluate, from how you judge. It's about reconditioning. Not enforcing the condition, but reconditioning. No, this isn't for me. Human beings, each one, right through the world, go through great agonies. The more sensitive, the more alert, the more observant, the greater the suffering, the anxiety, the extraordinary sense of insoluble problems. This is why we're addicted to quiet. This is why, you understand what I'm saying? We want a soft place to land. Everybody wants it. But nobody wants to cultivate it from within. It's too hard. It's too difficult to look at someone or to look at oneself and accept it with empathy, reverence, and rahama, grace. It's too difficult. I'd rather put the onus on somebody else. Do you understand? When I come forward, I promise you, the voice of reason, we're going to the phone lines. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertiri Plessy. Nefertiri felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 Commandments. Why? Man, can't tell me nothing about this. Can't tell me nothing about this. This is my hustling. It's on the corner. I ain't forget you. Triple beam.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. It's rules to this shit. I wrote me a manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. Rule number uno, never let no one know how much dough you hold, cause you know that try to breed jealousy, especially if that man f***ed up. Get your fuck up. Number 2, never let him know your
pause
next
it.
move.
I'm sorry. I know it's Biggie's time. But the reason why I'm playing these records, are you listening? This is the culture. Rap beefs. Kicking the Door was to Nas and the Wu-Tang. The first record we played from Biggie. Kicking the Door is for Nas and the Wu-Tang. Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the culture, right? We're in battle is petty. But so is bagging. So is crumbing. The jonesing, right? All of this is born out of lack. And if you're the crab that got a little higher than the rest of the culture, you get to look back, and if somebody say something slick, you get to clown them. The dozens, all of that. And that's why we're playing these types of records. This show got layers, man, like a Kendrick Lamar diss. Do you understand? This is the record we playing now is 10 Crack Commandments. Come on now. This is a manual on how to extrapolate wealth, right, from an addicted, socio-economically impoverished people. Come on, man. Give me some more of it.
Some violence, take it from your highness. I done squeeze mad clips at these cats for they bricks and chips. Number 3, never trust nobody. Your mom's set that ass up properly gassed up, hoodie the masked up. For that fast buck, she be laying in the bushes to light that what's up. Number 4, know you heard this before. Never get high on your own supply. Number 5, never sell no where you rest at. I don't care if they want an ounce, tell them bounce. Number 6, that got credit, get it. You think it's paying you back, forget it. 7, this rule is so underrated. Keep your family and business completely separated. Money and blood don't mix like 2 dicks and no find yourself in serious shit. Number 8, never keep no weight on you. Them cats that squeeze your can hold jumps too. Number 9 should have been number 1 to me. If you ain't getting back, stay the from police. If you think you're snitching, they ain't trying to listen. They be sitting in your kitchen, waiting to start hitting. Number 10, a strong word called consignment. Strictly for live men, not for freshmen. If you ain't got the clientele, say hell no. Cause they gon' want their money, rain, sleep, hell, snow.
Alright, in this video, I want to shed some light on why your avoidant partner is stonewalling you during a conflict, how you should respond when it happens, and what I did to heal and stop stonewalling my wife. Okay, let's first go over what stonewalling even is. So stonewalling is a term to describe a refusal to communicate. It usually happens during a fight or conflict where one partner will get very quiet. Their whole demeanor changes. They develop a flat affect. Sometimes they just stare at the ground or the wall. They might even pull out their phone and act like they just don't care about this conversation anymore. They're done. And it doesn't matter what you do or say, they will either stay completely silent or they will just answer every question with, I don't know, over and over again. They essentially shut down the conversation. And as you can imagine, it makes any partner feel like they obviously couldn't care less about me. They can't even be bothered to talk about something that's important to me. And stonewalling is a really big deal in our relationships. Dr. John Gottman studied thousands of couples, and he was able to predict divorce with 90% accuracy based off the chronic presence of 4 traits during conflict: defensiveness, criticism, contempt, and last but not least, stonewalling. So this is a really big deal. Now, some of you might know that technically more men stonewall than women, but we're not going to turn this into a gender thing because we all have areas we need to work on. And the silent treatment is actually one example of stonewalling, and we know both men and women can be guilty of that, right? So I think we can all agree both the silent treatment and stonewalling aren't healthy examples of how to manage conflict, right? And for anyone who is courageous enough to be listening to this because your partner sent it to you, let me first say thank you for being mature enough to explore this. It might feel uncomfortable, but you're doing a good thing, and I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to label you as the problem, and I'm not here to shame you. The truth is, I just care about you and your relationship. Most people would have just labeled you a narcissist, but I'm not here to do that. I know you think I'm on their team, but it's my job to hold both of you accountable. I'll be the first one to say that if your partner who starts a conflict with disrespect and criticism and name-calling and contempt, and then you end up stonewalling them, you're both wrong. Our words matter. Our tone matters. We should never be demeaning our partner, belittling our partner. That's not okay on either side. Now, I'm not saying that just because you say something in a nice way, that someone's not going to still stonewall you. They absolutely might. It's not our job to control their reaction. It's our job to make sure that we're being respectful and vulnerable and self-reflective. And if they turn this discussion into a toxic direction, then we have to be mature enough to set healthy boundaries. What that would look like is saying, I'm not going to continue in future conflicts if there's any name-calling or invalidating my feelings or stonewalling. It's hurtful behavior, and if it happens again, I will take a break from the conflict regardless of how upset that makes you, and we can try again in 30 minutes if we're both ready.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. All eyes are on Georgia after Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis won her Democratic primary election. Willis is handling the election interference case against former President Trump. The judge overseeing the Trump case, Scott McAfee, also won his race. The Maryland-based Caucus of African American Leaders have passed a resolution asking officials to rename the Frederick C. Malkus Jr. Bridge in Cambridge because it resisted desegregation in Maryland in the 1960s and 70s. On Monday night, a delegation from the group called Cambridge City Council to introduce a resolution to rename the bridge after late civil rights activist Gloria Richardson. The Minnesota Republican Party is endorsing a former NBA player who wants to become a U.S. Senator. Royce White, who's black, won the party's endorsement at the state convention in St. Paul over the weekend. White received 67% of the votes from delegates, winning on the first ballot. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
At Lowe's, save big when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 6 or more interior 6-panel pre-hung slab or bifold doors. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Hi, Tavis Smiley here. We're getting closer to June 18th, and time is running out for you to register to join us for our historic symposium live on C-SPAN, Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com right now if you want to be in the audience when the nation will see for the first time ever a stage full of brilliant black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's all going down. Well, it's actually all going up. Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. Live from the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Again, admission is free, but we're filling up fast. So if I were you, I would log on right now to KBLA1580.com to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance.
Plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
City of Los Angeles tenants and landlords participating in the Emergency Renters Assistance Program, beware of scammers. Notifications about your application will only come from the City of LA in emails ending in lacity.org. Protect yourself. Contact the LA Housing Department by email at lahd.erap@lacity.org or call 866-557-7368 to check communications you receive about the program. You can also verify your application status at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Today's agenda, got the suitcase up in the Central. Go to room 112, tell them Blanco sent you. Feel the strangers, if no money exchanges. I got these kids in ranges to leave them brainless. All they told is stainless, you just remainers. calm as possible. Make the deal go through. If not, here's 12 shots. We know how you do. Please make your killings clean. Slugs up in between. They eyes like true lies. Kill them and flee the scene. Just bring back the coke or the cream. Or else your life is on the shelf. We mean this, Frank. The cats we fucking with put bombs in your mom's gas tank. Let's get this money, baby. They shady, we get shady. Dress up like ladies and burn them in dirty 380s. Then they come to kill our babies. That's all out. I got gats that blow the wall out. Clear them all out. The fallout. Word to stretch. I bet they the 7 digits push me. Real. Here's the deal. I got 100 bricks, 14.5 a piece. Enough to cop 6, buy the house on the beach. Supply the peeps with jeeps, brick a piece. Capiche? Everybody getting cream, no one considered the leech. Think about it now, that's damn near 1.5. I kill them all, I'll be set for life. Frank, pay attention, these motherfuckers is henchmen. Renegades, if you die, they still get paid. Extra probably. The robbery, I'm the boss. Promise you won't rob them, I promise. But of course, you know I have my fingers crossed. Niggas bleed just like us. Picture me being scared of a nigga that breathe the same air as me. Niggas bleed just like us. Picture me being shook.
So we're talking about relational conflicts. And here's a question from Anthony. We bicker all the time. And she's so critical of me, I feel like I can't do anything right. I'm not sure that I see Anthony's question. If the question is how can I make her feel like what I do is okay, or how can I not feel so bad about the fact that she puts me down, or how can we stop bickering so much? I guess it's all three. So let me take this very powerful question, powerful because it's so common, right? What is bickering? Bickering is low-intensity chronic warfare. It's this notion that every time one person says something, the other person has a reaction to it. It's like you've got this proximity. It's like silex, you know, and it constantly is friction, but it is constantly negative friction, right? It's not a positive spark. It's just negative heat all the time, this criticism. And if probably one of the most important elements of the demise in a couple is criticism, ongoing hypercriticism, because it produces the actual opposite effect of what we seek when we are loved or when we love somebody, which is to feel good about ourselves. And if, as a result of being with someone, you end up feeling so much of the time lousy, unloved, uncared for, devalued, inadequate, inept, all of what Anthony is talking about, you really are on the other side of the tracks. So what can you do? You know, the first thing is when you are in critical mode, you are rarely reflecting. You are constantly reacting. That's a big difference. The reflection requires a little bit of time in between, a little bit of space, a moment to even think what it is that the other person meant before you automatically assume that you know and you're on automatic pilot. And generally, when you're in critical mode, your assumptions are negative. You do not assume that the other person had good intentions. You always are on the assumption that it was meant to be hurtful, meant to be dissing you, etc. I think what's very important to understand about criticism is that it actually sits on top of a mountain of disappointments, of unmet needs, of unfulfilled longings. Behind a criticism, there often is a wish. When I tell you you never do something, what I'm also trying to tell you is that I wish that you would do it. And I recommend that you actually state your wish. Just say the thing you would want. But then often I'm going to get, but I've already done that and I got nothing. And so rather than experience the vulnerability of putting myself out there and asking the question and waiting for the possibility that you won't meet me, that you...
Do you see? They're explaining the masses. What she's talking about is not the exception to the rule. She's talking about the masses. This is how most people do. I'm going to use criticism and pettiness and demeaning and demeaning language and disrespect to really ask for what I want. You know what I'm about to say. Krishnamurti says it like this. The demand for more and more experiences shows the inward poverty of man. We think that through experiences, we can escape from ourselves. But these experiences are conditioned by what we are. So even when you get the experience, you still you. I'm sorry to laugh, but that's just, come on, man. You're supposed to reach a level of consciousness to where you're in a relationship with someone else, enjoying the natural essence of who they are, because you've learned to do the same for self. So in that heightened state of intimacy, there is no wanting. If your relationship is rooted in want, let me read it again so you can understand. The demand for more and more experiences shows the inward poverty of man. He's talking about a spiritual penury, spiritual poverty. I need you to show up this way. I need you to hear me. When the greatest set of ears you have is yourself. I need you to see me. No, the greatest set of eyes you have is yourself. If you cast your eyes to the ground when looking at your shadow, that is the source of being unseen and unheard. Come on now. Somebody taught you how to do that. All right. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready for these callers? Let's get the callers in here. Because do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. You know, your childhood experiences probably had something to do with it, right? Yes. The worthiness wounds come from your primary gear. We get it. But you still have agency to break up with the conditioning you modeled in the beginning. The relationships are inverted. Do as I say. Do as my wounds say. Conform and contort to me. No. Let's get the callers. Sean, Oakland, California, get in here.
Hey, brother.
Sean.
Wow.
Hey, what up?
I mean, well, you know me. I'm fired up all the time.
Yes.
You know, my thing is this. You know, let me tell you a quick story. So I didn't make the big leagues, but I was a prospect at some point in time, way back in history. And, you know, I got to a certain point, you know, where, you know, I'm out in the outfield. And I'm an outfielder at that time. I was a pitcher, first baseman, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, I was an outfielder. And I was like, you know, I was in left field at the time. And I heard, and this is college, I heard people in the stands talking about the name of the girlfriend that I was with a week before, and they knew the other girlfriend that I actually liked better. And I was like, damn! I was like, really? I mean, you know that much about me that you're going to try to mess with my game, right? So I laughed in my glove because I was taught at a young age in baseball, you know, you're going to have people coming out to try to throw you off your game. And I was so lucky to have great coaches. So I put my face in my glove, and I was laughing my ass off. But my point is, you got to have thick skin in this world, because baseball to me is the entire planet. You know, people, even if you don't like baseball, it's the longest season. You can go 0-15 and then 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. You're back in the mix. You keep fighting. You keep working hard as you can. That's what a relationship is. And you try to respect the person in your relationship, but sometimes you're going to have to just laugh in your glove and not let them know that, right? You're going to have to be a poker guy. There's the other thing. You're going to have to be a poker person and not show them that you understand that they're ripping you a new one, but you know what? You can take it because you have thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, we need to have thick skin in this world. This is how this world works.
I love it, brother. I love it. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging on the line. You brought Oakland, California in the building. When we come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas. Let's keep talking. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. City of Los Angeles tenants and landlords participating in the Emergency Renters Assistance Program, beware of scammers. Notifications about your application will only come from the City of LA in emails ending in lacity.org. Protect yourself. Contact the LA Housing Department by email at lahd.erap@lacity.org or call 866-557-7368 to check communications you receive about the program. You can also verify your application status at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
So you wanna be hardcore with your hat to the back, talking about the in your raps, but I can't feel that hardcore appeal that you're screaming. Maybe I'm dreaming. This ain't Christopher Williams, still some empty. Got the feel one, cats I got the feel some. To let you know that if you with big and heavy, I get up in that like a wedgie. Says who? Says me, the lyrical. Saying Biggie off the street, it's a miracle. Left the drugs alone, took the dubs along with me. Just for that is shifty. Sticks and stones, red bones, but they kill you quicker. Especially when I'm drunk off the liquor. Smoking fuck by the boxes, packing it's natural to eat your like chocolates. The fuck, baby.
My God. Biggie Smalls. The Notorious B.I.G. Machine Gun Funk. Produced by none other than Easy Mo B. Come on, Biggie. Whew, Lord. But we had to play these records, right? Because they highlight a level of pettiness. And I love it. I love it. It was part of his magic, man. One of the greatest MCs of all times. Got to shout him out. That's, my co-host is my playlist. And you don't think it locks into the topic when in fact it actually does. A petty culture produces petty art. No one in the world can say what Kendrick did was not art. But it was petty. A minor is the pettiest line of you trying to strike a chord. I bet you it's in A minor. What? That is the height of pettiness. Let me get Attila in here from Houston, Texas. Attila, what are your thoughts? Let me get out of your way. Go ahead.
What up? All right, so I'm really glad you brought up K-Dart. All right, so when we're talking about antidotes of dealing with pettiness and petty people, underestimation is your greatest superpower. When somebody thinks they know you, their ideas about you are so solidified, that is like gold. And I like that Nazarene brought up the idea of patience, because pettiness is a long game. It's not for the weak, right? So to me, I think pettiness is anger really from unrequited niceness or niceties, if we want to talk about relationships. You mad because what you hoped you was going to get from the situation did not work out, right? And even when you talk about bringing up validation, I'm going to take it a step further. You want to be worshipped. No, sir. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. And don't get me wrong. I think there is room for validating and understanding your partner. However, if you're dealing with somebody who maybe is more of an anxious, preoccupied, there's not enough validation you can get to that person in the world. Right?
You meant to do that? You meant to come in here and slap people? Okay.
Listen, and let me tell myself real quick. Huh?
I said you thought about this.
Yeah. Oh no, I've been sitting here over here, stewing, because that's what people do when they're constantly underestimated, right? Mm-hmm. You learn how to hit back in the right spots. Forget the number of spots. It only takes one hit. So I'm telling myself a little bit as a fearful avoidant who has stonewalled a lot of people in my life. I like to call it more like a door slam, because again, like I told you, it's unrequited niceties. When you're someone who operates transactionally, you cannot reconcile the fact that your transactions sometimes come up void, and that's just the reality, because people have a right to not give you what it is that you're looking for, no matter how nicely you ask for it. And so slamming the door in people's face can be a way to protect yourself, but it can also be a way to, quote unquote, stick it to the man. So what I've had to learn is just to be more direct. And so if that means that I look mean, oh well. But it's taken a lot of time for me to become comfortable with the idea that, quote unquote, being mean is not an indictment. It's just a characteristic.
Good Attila! Good stuff! Attila, Lord have mercy. She done took us to church. We appreciate it. Thank you for the insight. You brought Houston, Texas in the building. We appreciate that. Man. But Dr. David Hawkins would say it this way. The capacity to recognize significant factors in a given situation is limited by the context that arises from the level of consciousness of the observer. Your level of consciousness prevents you from understanding the context of what happened. And if you have a low level of consciousness or an undeveloped level of consciousness, guess what you're going to give? Pettiness, competitiveness, right? You're going to give resistance. Like I'm telling you, people are not relating to understand. They're relating to receive. They're relating to receive. And if they don't get what they want, they have just cause, right, to be petty, right? Jiddu Krishnamurti puts it this way. It is only when the mind is free from the old, that it meets everything anew. And in that, there is joy. I need you to hear that again. It is only when the mind is free from the old. What is the old? Psychological knowledge. What is psychological knowledge? Attachment theory. Childhood wounds. Do you understand? What you modeled. It is only when the mind is free from the old that it meets everything anew. And in that, there is joy. Many of us don't have joy because what we didn't get is coloring what we get, which causes us to compete, compare, and contrast. The great Krishnamurti said it another way. He said, the highest form of observation is to be able to do it without judgment. You can't turn your inner evaluation mechanism off. Is this safe? Is it safe? No one makes you safe but you. You make you safe. If we pull out Dr. David R. Hawking's consciousness grid, and I loved his work, but when we look at the consciousness grid, the majority of the 9, 10, 12 billion people on planet Earth are vibrating at the consciousness level of fear. They're vibrating at the consciousness level of fear. Everything is predicated on safety. Now read the quote again. The capacity to recognize significant factors in a given situation is limited by the context that arises from the level of consciousness of the observer. If the observer is in perpetual low-grade fear and ego, they're going to be petty when they don't get what they want. When they don't get, that's why I said, Dr. Mark Goulston, who recently passed, he said one of the hardest things for people to do is break up with the desired outcome they never got. Listen, man, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. You don't have to agree with a single word I said. None of it makes any sense anyway. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. Tomorrow is my birthday. If you want to call in and shout me out, please do so. The voice of reason will be in the building with another slapper. Love y'all. Deuces.
At my crib, turned himself in, he had to do a bid. A 1 to 3, he be home the end of 93. I'm ready to get this paper, G. You with me? Right? My pockets looking kinda tight, and I'm stressed. Yo, Biggie, let me get the vest. No need for that. Just grab the